So I realized a lot of people are struggling with communication. So something I've been discussing lately is be a wife before becoming someone's wife. While you're single, you are becoming a wife. In this video, I am sharing how you can position yourself as a single woman to become that wife. And if you are interested in learning, please continue watching this video. The first thing that I really consider that you need to work on as you position yourself as a wife is work on your communication skills. I know communication is such a broad subject, it's such a broad word, and nobody's really talking about what that means. In future videos, I will discuss more about how to communicate with a man, period. But for now, as you are working on yourself, as you are striving to become that wife, you want to work on communicating with yourself, how you are communicating with yourself, the thoughts that are going through your head, what are you speaking over your life to others. You want to make sure that you are communicating well to others, and you need to learn how to hold a conversation, a quality conversation, enough to keep a man engaged. If you are requiring a man who is wanting to have high value conversations, you need to make sure that you can hold a high value conversation. The second thing you should do as you position yourself as a wife while single is understand the purpose of a wife. The main way that you are going to understand the purpose of a wife, if you really learn it from the creator of marriages, the creator of wives, which is God, the father of Abraham, the father of Isaac, the father of Jesus Christ. As I became that wife, as I am striving to become that wife, I started getting convicted in my spirit when I was trying to be average, when I was just trying to be just a stay-at-home wife. But becoming that wife is so much deeper than what they are showing on the surface in the world. It's not just about wearing the ring, having the Mrs. title, having the certificate of marriage. It's so much more than that. It's more than just watching Netflix and chill. It's more than just cuddling with your boo thing and cleaning the dishes and taking care of the kids. It gets so much deeper. Marriage is such a spiritual institution. For me, it helped me emotionally. It helped me mentally. I actually thought I was pretty perfect before I got married. But girl, when I tell you that marriage is a self-development course itself, but the only way that I was able to even get to the altar in the first place was to have a great relationship with my father. So that is definitely something that you have to start understanding is the purpose of a wife as you are learning to position yourself as a wife. Another way to position yourself as a wife while you are single is to receive the healing that requires you to receive the gift of a wife, the position of a wife, the service of a wife. Although being a wife is a gift, although marriage is a gift, everyone will not receive it. For instance, right? I know for me, I was team no marriage. I did not have the desire to get married. I was not one of the little girls who was brought up saying I want to get married. I had friends that always said that, but I always dreamed to be a Miss Independent woman. Opposite, right? But literally that was my dream, to be a Miss Independent woman, to have the highest condo of, in the building with my Yorkie dog walking out of the condo to my valet parking and getting my Porsche or whatever high value car that I wanted at the time, right? With my hair all long. Right now I'm the opposite of that. I'm totally the opposite of that dream. And the reason why I did not want to get married is because to find out I had an awesome dad, but he was not an awesome husband. And I don't want to drag his name in the dirt like that, but it's the truth. It's my truth. This is my perspective of life. But I'm always going to give him the credit that is due because he was an amazing dad. He did pass away when I was 13, and that's when I became a little bit rebellious. And he always taught me to not ever receive money from men. So these are all the things that's being embedded in me as a young girl. My mom was a single woman, she dated other men, whatever. That's her story, her business. But this is my story, and I became rebellion. I started doing my thing, and money became my lover. And here I am, standing strong because I am finally healed, because I received the healing that what it takes for me to have a healthy marriage, to receive my husband as my husband, because it sounds good, but I had to let go of that fantasy. So it's a requirement for you to receive the healing that definitely is needed for you to receive this position. So if you feel like you are upset because you don't want to date men and you don't want to be bothered with men and marriage isn't for everyone, really understand where is that rooted at, really dive into where is that coming from, and really start walking through the process of getting that unrooted. And I'm so grateful that God has given me this 5-day challenge. If you are interested, make sure that you register down below. It is free, and it will take you through the process of everything that I am saying. I will get into more detail of how to walk through this process hand in hand. It is free for the time being, so make sure that you register as soon as possible so you can start your journey on becoming that wife, so you can start receiving the healing, the position that is naturally created for you, so you can start restoring your bloodline and your generation. The next thing you could do to position yourself as a wife, as a single woman, start praying for your husband. Not a husband, but for your husband. You have a husband. Your husband is out there in need of you. He is probably in some entanglements that you should be praying over right now. And if you was to get into position, you'll understand that your husband is out there, and you'll start praying for not just a husband, but for your husband. I also will have guidelines on how to do that, how to pray for your husband, because I know that's a little bit mind-blowing. And even right now, if you do feel like, oh God, my husband, I have a husband, write that down. Really start processing that thought pattern. Really understand be aware of your emotions and what you are feeling right now, because yes, girl, you have a husband. You just have to get in position to receive him. So start praying for him, including start praying for yourself. But you have to make sure that you get the healing and all that stuff in beforehand. The next thing you need to do to become that wife is start learning who you are in God. This is the ultimate foundation of becoming that wife, is knowing who you are in God. Once again, in my 5-day challenge, I introduce you to this process. It's very important that you get it. You may have an idea of who God is, but really receiving the revelation, if you feel like you just need a little bit more sharpening in that area, even if you do have a good foundation with God, really sharpen that skill, because it's a everlasting journey. Never ever stop knowing who God is, and never stop learning who you are in God. Okay, so my battery is dying. I need to wrap this video really quickly. I hope that oh yeah, my name is Deona, by the way. I go by becoming.thatwife on Instagram, and make sure that you subscribe, like, comment, all the YouTube stuff, and I hope to see you next week. Bye.